Hello, hello, hello. Greetings from this end of the woods and welcome to this wonderful edition after a very long summer break. I'm so happy to have an opportunity to talk and discuss and to interact with you again. I'm Laura Tinzo and I welcome you all. Those who are going to join this live show, those who are on now, I can already see a few people. And those who will be watching the rebroadcast, because it's not always possible to join the live shows, I welcome you all to today's edition. And it's a very, very important one. So I want to invite you to share the link again with your contacts, share with men and women, kings and queens, because today's topic involves everybody. Welcome once again. You know, when I entered my 20s, 30s, before I reached 40, I used to hear this word menopause drop every now and then. And to me, menopause meant no more appointments with our monthly friend. I'm sure you understand what I mean. To me, menopause meant I'm done with kids, no more kids, and things like that. But as I get older, as I get to interact with many more people, with many more women, I realize that there is more to menopause than just those things that I thought about, you know. And so it makes me wonder, how is it going to be? What can I expect from menopause? A few months ago, one of our lovely sisters, Queen Amina Chitembo from the UK, she joined me here on this podium to talk about menopause. She shared her experience with us, and it was so interesting. Imagine my joy when a few weeks ago, another queen wrote to me and asked, Laura, are you still doing the menopause shows? I would like to share my experience. And I was like, yes. It can never be exhausted. There is so much to learn about menopause. There is so much to talk about. And we need to break the silence. We need to break the silence. So I welcome you once again, dear viewers, dear listeners. And I will not waste too much of your time. Let me bring in the real queens of the evening, those who have invited you here today, those who are going to give you what you will take home with you today. So our first speaker today is coming all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Imagine that. And she's a wonderful woman. We have done test runs in the background in the past weeks. We've been meeting regularly. And she's so interesting. I mean, I'm so happy to have connected with this lady. And you're going to see for yourself. So please welcome with me, Queen Jacinta from Nairobi.
Hello, Melanin Queens. Hi, I'm so excited.
Jacinta, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So let me get Queen Rhodah so that you have some company and we get it going, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, like I said, she is the one who wrote to me and said, Laura, we need to talk more about this topic. We need more queens to share their experiences. And she's a real diva. She's a real queen. So please welcome with me, Queen Rhodah, also known as Malaika. So,
hello, queens and kings.
hello, Rhodah. Hello, Queen Malaika. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, my sisters, finally we made it.
Yeah.
Finally, we made it. Finally, we are here. And I'm so excited that you're here with me today. And I'm also excited for our viewers, those who have already joined us online and those who are still going to come. Please, this show is it's our show. Let us make it as interactive as possible. So you share your comments in the chat box. I'm sure you've already seen it. You write your comments in the chat. You know, if someone says something which you like, which you can relate to, write it in the chat box. If you have a question to one of the speakers, write it in the chat box, because throughout the show, I'm going to be bringing your comments and your questions on the screen, and then we will, you know, be interacting with each other. Okay. So let us try to make this show today very, very interesting one. So before we begin, let us just invite our creator to come and be with us today, to come and guide us. And we're going to invite Queen Jacinta to lead us in a short opening prayer.
Let's pray. Let's place ourselves in the presence of our Maker, presence of God. We want to thank God, our Maker, for this moment that He has made for us. He made us women, He made us unique, and He put us on this earth to live, to love, and to serve Him, and above all, to live, to love, and serve each other. We ask that during this session, He may inspire us to share and build each other in a memorable way and in a constructive way, in a way that will make lasting impressions that we shall use in our lives. I ask this through our Lord, who made us unique women, happy women, to occupy this earth and serve Him and praise Him. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much. So let me just go to Queen Malaika and ask you to give us a brief introduction of yourself.
Oh, my name is Rhodah Malaika. In full, Rhodah Jeruto Koros Godson. It's a long name. So in short, Rhodah Malaika. I'm a born Kenyan, bred in Kenya, and studied also most of my time in Kenya. And I live in Germany in a state called North Rhine-Westphalia. For the last, I relocated 31 years ago. And I live here with my husband. I am, now what do I say I am? I'm a teacher, I'm a social worker, I am a mother of a 30-year-old queen who is now beginning to prepare her own queendom. I am a wife to a very nice, supportive husband, very kind, supportive. I am also a wellness practitioner, you know, massaging and all this, and massage. And also what I learned in my part of trials in this country, I learned to be what you call a laughter yoga, learning how to laugh again, because that one disappeared here along the way, you know. So I'm a cook, I'm a nutritionist, I do agriculture. Like all women, actually, we do everything, and we are masters, mistresses of almost everything. And
wow.
More things yet to come.
Wow, more to come. Oh my God, how many hats does she wear? But like she said, that is who we are, isn't it? Women, I think God gave us these talents to just be everything at every time, you know. We thank God for that. Thank you so much, Queen Rhodah. So let's go over to you. Queen Jacinta, can you just give us a short, brief introduction of yourself, please? Thank you.
So once again, good evening, Queens. My name is Jacinta Nabangi. I am a mother. I am a wife. Of course, before I was a mother, I became a wife. I am a teacher by profession. I'm a registered nutritionist in our country. And I love cooking. I love dealing with youngsters. And I think, briefly, that is who I am. Yeah, I'm a mother of 7.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen Jacinta. So both of you are nutritionists. That's something that I've just taken note of now. So before we continue, I would like to read a few comments that have come in so far. From Milka Chorus. Milka says, "Hi, I'm Lily from Kenya. So excited to be online." Hi, Milka. We are happy to have you with us. And Lady Rebecca, Queen Rebecca says, "Hey, my dear Melanin sisters." Yes, Sister Rebecca. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you for being here. And for all others who are watching us, you're welcome. We appreciate you. And please continue sharing the link and inviting others, reminding them to come and join us because the party is just starting. Yeah. All right, my queen. So let us go to our first question. I need to sort out my papers here so that I don't get confused, which I think I'm already getting confused. All right, so question 1. So I just want to know from both of you, my dear queens, in a nutshell, how have you experienced menopause? How has the journey been for you so far? So Queen Rhoda, can you please begin?
Okay, for me, honestly, menopause has not been smooth. And even before the time, before I knew that I was in menopause, maybe like at the age of 45, 46, that's when it started with heavy bleeding, not the kind of bleeding. You wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you're getting ready to go to work and drive 1 hour away to go to work. And before that, you're already drenched and drained and you're finished. Yeah. And I did not know that that was the beginning of menopause, actually. I thought, okay, maybe it's like that, maybe, So with all this heavy bleeding, and that's how it started. That's when I noticed I need help. And I went to my gynecologist and said, what is all this? I'm bleeding like this. And she just examined me and said, it is normal. It is very normal. Some women get it heavy like that, and then it dwindles and goes out. So, okay, I thought, all right. But since the bleeding was too much, I had to be put for a short time, like a few months, on hormone therapy, like 3 months, in order to cope, because there was no way I was going to cope with work and all the chores that I needed to do. I was drained out. I was finished, actually. So, and a roller coaster of so many other symptoms. And today, I just made a list to see what is it, how much have I undergone actually in this process. And I just have a short list. This is me, Malaika, with a few symptoms I've had. Hot flashes, almost every menopausal woman has it. Mood swings, you're so happy this minute, the next minute you want to kill somebody. Insomnia, meaning not sleeping well or having problems with sleeping or not sleeping throughout the night. And then the worst one was this brain fogginess, feeling like I've drunk something, just foggy in my head. Forgetfulness, forgetting, where's my key, where is what, where are my glasses, just too much of forgetfulness. Lethargy, so tired, tiredness, fatigue, headaches, blurring vision, like I could not see well anymore. And then the worst one actually for me was depression. I entered into a very deep phase of depression, which I could only come out after getting help from the experts. And that was in my deepest part of my menopausal upswings and downswings. Yes. So wow. It hasn't been easy.
Wow. Thank you so much, Queen Rhoda. And despite all of this, you are still this shining star, this sunshine, wherever you appear, it's just a good feeling, no one would imagine. Before we come to you, Queen Jacinta, to get your experience, I just want to read a comment from a king. We have a king in the house. Yay. King Joel Asongwe, you are welcome. And then he's asking a very That is real for you. He says, can a woman get pregnant after menopause? Also, how is it possible a woman put to birth at 74 years? Okay, King Joel, we are coming to you, okay? We will come back to answer these questions. Noted, just be patient, okay? Thank you so much. And invite other kings who might be interested in getting the answers, okay? So now over to you, Jacinta. How has your experience of menopause been so far?
Thank you very much, Queen Laura. Now, Laura, what I can say is that mine, I think, was a bit more mellow than Rhodah's, though I can identify with some of the symptoms that she went through. And she still looks like the sun is shining in her life even more brighter the way I look at her. Yeah. Yeah. Personally, menopause came into my life without me realizing what I was going through. And I think many other women would attest to that, that sometimes things happen to you and you think, why am I having this constant headache? Is it due to tiredness? Is it due to a lot of work in the office? Yeah. So that is how it came to me. Yeah. Through some headaches. Sometimes I could wake up in the morning and I have a headache and I delay going to work. And this brought a lot of problems between me and my boss. But I never used to understand why some mornings I just wake up and I'm having a migraine, in fact. Yeah. And then eventually I started experiencing high blood pressure.
Yes.
All this time I did not understand. I was just thinking these are episodes that happen into a woman's life. Yeah. So one time when I was at the doctor's to give attention to my blood pressure, I was feeling hot and I was feeling cold. I'm removing my sweater and putting. Then the doctor asked me, could you be going through menopause? And that's the first time the word menopause struck me. And I wonder, oh, so something like menopause exists? Then I left it at that. Of course, I had gone there for high blood pressure. So she gave me the drugs for hypertension and I came home. And I never thought about menopause again until after when I went back and the doctor now has to give me some supplements. But I was attributing all this to the high blood pressure. But eventually this feeling hot, feeling cold, having headaches and all that, I was taking it to be something that is normal that I'm going to have to live with until the doctor told me, you have to have yourself checked. Your mineral level, your nutritional status, then it clicked. Being a nutritionist, the changes in the hormones could be bringing on all this. That's when I started now thinking about my menopause. Yeah, and trying to focus on it. Yeah.
Wow.
But in fact, this took it took like 2 years or 3 years. Yeah. Going through all this without thinking of it like that. Yeah.
Wow. This is wonderful. So I just have a question for both of you, maybe starting with you, Queen Jacinta. How old were you when this started? You know, you putting on your pullover, taking it out, pushing it on, taking it out. How old were you? Can you remember?
At that time, I think I was like 47. I hadn't reached 50. Yeah, 47, 48 there. Yeah.
All right. And what about you, Queen Rhodah?
I think 45, 46. When with these heavy bleedings and all that, and then hot, cold, about that time. I was not yet 50. 45, 46.
Wonderful. So we have some more comments, which I'm going to read in a bit, but I just want us to answer the second question. And King Joel, don't think we've forgotten you. We've not forgotten. We're going to answer those questions because I think we should answer them towards the end of the show, after we have kind of assimilated a lot of things here. Okay, so we have not forgotten you. Just stay tuned. So the question I want to ask you, Queens, now is, many times, you don't hear a lot of women talking about menopause, right? For example, if you go to social media today, you're going to see all kinds of posts, even on people's status. You're going to see all kinds of things, maybe what I ate today, pictures of food and pictures of, sharing all kinds of things. But I have never, ever seen someone just write something about menopause, apart from myself, since I started doing these shows. So it's like, is it that women, nobody's going through menopause at the moment, or is it just that like, we don't really interact with them? Or is it that it's kind of a taboo topic? Nobody wants to talk about it. So I have come to the conclusion that it is not a very comfortable topic for many, and there is a lot of silence about it. But we have decided, I remember, Rhodah, you told me we need to break the silence. Amina said the same thing. It's time to break the silence. So why do you ladies think it's important to break the silence on menopause? Queen Rhodah, please.
Why we need to break that silence? Because menopause is just ignored, but it is a phase that can make a woman really go insane, or will be misunderstood by the family or the husband or those surrounding her. They might even think she's going crazy or insane if she's having depression or mood swings and feeling aches and lethargy and all that. And why do we talk about other things? Like when a woman has, say, a joint problem on her leg, she can say, my legs are hurting, and everybody is sympathizing with her. Or she can say, oh, I'm having joint problems. Okay, we still sympathize with her. But to say that I have menopause, I think many people do not like to talk about it because they think, now I've been stamped as an old woman. You know, an old woman, my productivity is finished. So now nobody will value me anymore. Even the man I'm married to should not actually know that I'm not really, on top, even the libido is dying, everything is getting low, So nobody wants to out themselves. It's a bit like a secretive, taboo corner. That's how I see it. And except just with good friends, we only talk about that with good friends, and a very good one at that, not just colleagues or anything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They look at her now, she's finished, she's drained out.
Yeah.
I think so.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much, Queen Rhodah. So it's important that we should talk about this so that those around us can actually understand what we are going through, and we also can also understand the people in our lives when they are going through this thing. So it's not just about a woman, maybe your aunt, being mean to you, being moody, but she is going through something. So if we're not talking about it, we would never know, and then it will bring frictions and misunderstandings and divorces and all kinds of problems in our lives and in our relationships. Queen Cynthia, what do you say about that? Why is it important to talk about menopause?
Yeah, it is very, very important because one thing, as Queen Rhodah has said, menopause is very much disruptive when it comes to relationships. It can be a very big disruptor of family life and family relationships because of the mood swings it takes the woman through. And we need to talk about it so that people can know and anticipate it so that they can prepare for it. Yeah, another thing is in the current society, we are a bit individualistic. We're not like the old society where there was an aunt that you knew that you could go and confide in and express what you're going through. These days, we are so, the society is very fragmented, and people may hardly find anybody to tell them or just explain to them what they are going through so that they can be helped. So it's good that we talk about it. It's good that women help other women going through, because it's a very disruptive state. And also people may not like talking about it because they think now my womanhood is gone, my attraction is gone, and then they keep quiet. But when we talk about what we are going through, then we'll find ways of dealing with it. We'll find our attraction as women. We'll find our dignity when we share and help each other.
So
that we don't feel like we're losing out.
Concluding word. When we talk about what we're going through, then we find ways of dealing with it. And as women, we find ways of getting back our dignity. That is so powerful. Yes. And I also love what you said about when you know what to expect, then you can prepare for it. Then you can anticipate it, you know. Believe me, after having talked with Queen Amina and all the talks I've had with you, I'm really checking myself, you know. Sometimes when I'm, you know, yelling at the kids so much, I'm like, okay, what this yelling like this, you know, in what direction am I going? So yes, you're very correct. We prepare, we can anticipate it, we can prepare, and we can, you know, better deal with it. So please, Queens, let us read some comments. We have welcome to all of you who have joined us. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here with us. Joelle, we're coming to you. So Darling Girl is here. She says, hello, Darling Girl. We're happy to have you. Lily Sanya says, hi, Queens. So excited to join you. Hi, Lily. We are excited to have you with us. Milka says, oh gosh, Malaika, that was too much experience, especially on depression. And Queen Malaika keeps shining and smiling. Lily is joining us from Pretoria, South Africa. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Darling Girl says, what a beautiful experience. And then she also asked, is that what we call hot flushes? I believe it's when you, Cynthia, you talked about taking out your pullover when you need to. So is that what we call hot flushes?
Yes, yes. I'm missing the fun.
Rhodah has her fun. Yes. And Lily says, I relate to the hot flushes and heavy bleeding. And
Yes.
Simulu, you're welcome. Lady Mimi says, I think it's still a taboo topic. Yes, dear sister, it's still a taboo topic. That is why we need to keep talking about it. That is why we need to share and invite more people to come and join us today. You know, we invited so many people, but we have just 15 people on this live show because, like Mirabelle rightly points out, it's still a taboo topic, but we are getting there, isn't it? We are getting there. We are not going to give up. And we have another king in the house, King Herbert Nabangi. And King Herbert, you're so welcome. And he says, this is a beautiful talk, real and basic. King Herbert, you have some fans here, huh? You're welcome. Please don't get more kings to come and join this show, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Do you think it's time to answer Joel's question? He asked a very basic question. Can a woman get pregnant after menopause? And how is it possible for women to put to birth at 74? So maybe Queen Malaika, you can answer the first part, and Queen Jacinta, you can answer the second part. Does that work?
Okay, the way I understand menopause is when a woman stopped bleeding, like for a period of 2 years, meaning it is dry. There's no monthly periods. So if there are no monthly periods, my assumption is there would be no eggs ripening from the ova, going down the fallopian tube and going into the uterus. So actually a woman who is truly in menopause cannot get pregnant, but the ones who are in perimenopause, like from that age of 45, when I said I was bleeding heavily and all that, as long as you're still seeing your month, it means you're still right, baby, you can get pregnant. But if you're fully in menopause, meaning maybe the last 2 years, you've not seen your monthly period, then from where should the egg come from? Yeah, so that's the answer.
Thank you very much, Malaika. That makes a lot of sense. Over to you, Queen Jacinta, the second part. How is it possible for a 74-year-old to have a baby?
Well, a 74-year-old may not have a baby, but she can still relate with her husband conjugally. It is possible because where there is love, love starts in the mind. And love is what is involved in self-giving of each other, yeah? Your body belongs to your husband, and his body belongs to you. And when there's love, having conjugal love is very much possible. Now, during menopause, there are those things that can be used to help, because during menopause, the woman may tend to be a bit dry. There are all sorts of helps, that can be used to help to facilitate the conjugal act to be smooth and very fulfilling. There are lots of preparations in the chemist. There are lots of natural preparations that can be used to help with this act and to still cement and build love even in old age. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Queen Jacinta. But I think Joel's question was, is it possible for a woman to have a baby at the age of 74?
No.
Let me answer that.
Normal in most cases, women at 74, maybe they are not that I know, maybe there are exceptions that will be having their period at 74, but once the periods are gone, then a woman cannot get a baby.
All right. Queen Malaika, you wanted to say something?
Yes.
Unless, of course, in this Western world we live in, if the woman froze her egg and brought it to the egg bank, I don't know what you call it, the egg bank, and she kept it there so that when she meets Mr. Right, then she can defreeze that egg and have it put inside her again, then of course she can get pregnant again. But I think naturally, honestly, I don't know women who are still having their monthly periods at the age of 74.
All right. Yes,
that is true.
Thank you all very much. And Joel, thank you for that mind-boggling question. I trust you for that. Believe me, I wasn't surprised. And thank you, my queens, for giving us the real answers to this. We also want to welcome our sister Florence Rhodah, who says, hi, queens. Hi, Florence, you're welcome. And
hi, Queen Florence.
Mirabelle says, there is this notion that when a woman hits menopause, she's just half a woman. So self-worth as a woman may diminish. Yes, that's what we've been saying. I think it's true, but you can see it's just a notion. That is why we need to talk about these things, and we need to have real, beautiful, strong queens like Jacinta and Rhodah come and sit here and talk with us so that we know that there is nothing like being a half woman. Look at these two queens. What is half about them? Nothing. So let's talk about this. Yes, Queen Rhodah?
I'm telling you, the one who is asking about sometimes feeling like half a woman, it is true. You know, when you are undergoing all this crazy stuff, and I myself, I'm thinking, am I normal? Am I sane? Am I what? I'm screaming at people. I'm sweating like what? I feel like half a woman. But the moment I understand what is going on and I take measures that help me, then I start restoring my queendom again, you know?
Amen.
Amen. That is so true.
Is queendom. Thank you. And that is why also such talks are important for us to sieve out those false notions, isn't it? To sieve them out so that, you know, we get these things right in our minds. Keep the comments coming. I'm going to read your next comments very soon. Let's just go to the next question. You know, we have just 30 minutes left. Prince.
Wow.
So, you know, ladies, when you were talking, you were telling us about your menopause experience. I was taking down notes and I discovered that the two of you have different experiences. You started at different times. You experienced it differently. However, there were some basic things that were true for both of you. So I just want to ask another general question for all the other queens who are, you know, listening, who will be listening later on, for the kings also, you know, so that they know what to expect, how to support their queens when they get there. How would a woman know that she's entering menopause? And are there any basic characteristic signs that she can watch out for?
Yeah. First of all, you may start if you have your menses regular, you may start skipping them. And then, you may start skipping your menses, or they may become heavy, as Queen Rhodah said. You may start feeling the hot flashes. They are a very good first sign also. So you need to listen. You need to really listen to your body. Women, we have to get used to listening to our body way before we enter into menopause, so that we know when these changes start coming on, and we start listening and trying to check out what they are pointing to. And when you become unnecessarily irritable, yeah, very little, if small things make you irritable, just try to think, see, well, I mean, just try to connect up things and see. Yeah, and sometimes you may also be very anxious, anxiety that you can't explain, may start entering your life, things like those. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. Queen Rhodah, do you have something to add?
That
so
drying,
Jacinta talked about, you know, the monthly bleeding. For some, it gets heavier. For others, it starts, you know, skipping, and then the hot flushes, and then you get irritated by very little things. You know, you're just easily irritable, mood swings, like you mentioned already, and then just this anxiety. You know, you're just anxious and maybe even fearful. So, do you have something else to add to this?
Yeah, another thing which I've definitely experienced is the drying of the membranes, whether it is your eyes are dry, your ears are dry, your mouth is dry, your skin gets drier, you itchy and drier, and most of all, the yoni space gets also drier. So all the membranes, actually, they sort of like go into final work, you know, like shutting up. And that is also one of those symptoms that occur in the early menopause, and which also need to be moisturized, all of them, whether it's the eyes, the ears, the throat, the yoni, the body with nice moisturizing cream. Everything has to be lubricated, because the lubricant gets less.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. So I get some of our listeners now, just like my husband last time, he kept asking me, what is yoni? What is yoni bath? Maybe some other people are wondering, what is yoni? Yoni?
Yoni is our stargate, where our babies come from, where that is a stargate. Without that, there is no humanity. That is what I call the yoni space. It's a stargate. So, and during menopause, particularly when you're still bleeding and stopping and bleeding and stopping, what helped me really along the way was having the so-called yoni baths. Those are baths you sit in with nice herbs, nice scented smelling herbs, but some of them are medicinal that actually also clean you and moisturize you. And it's like steaming your beautiful stargate, particularly after your periods, so that you can start again on the job, you know? So it helps. And later, when the full menopause is there, you can also still do your yoni bath if you want to put some rose petals, some nice scented stuff, just to feel good and treat yourself as a queen, you know, to feel a bit royal, you know, particularly when you're feeling down, depressive, and all that. So yoni baths have been part of my journey.
Thank you.
And for those ones who want to know more about it, you can go into YouTube. Just look for yoni baths. There are so many women talking about it, and they even demonstrate how they're doing it.
That's very interesting. Yoni bath. So Y-O-N-I, isn't it?
What did you say?
Y-O-N-I.
Yes, yoni.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So you already took us into the coping strategies. But before we go to the coping strategies, I'm going to read some of the comments that we have here. And then I ask you another question before we go to the coping strategies. So thank you so much, my queens. You're so wonderful. How, wow, precious. We have a precious queen in the house. She says, hi to everyone. I came late. No problem. You're just in time. It's better late than never. And we have another beautiful queen in the house, Queen Fleur. Areji, you're welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And Florence says, thanks, ladies, for this beneficial information. We are happy that you're here to grab the information firsthand. Our Queen Lily Sanya says, I find it very useful to take supplements and drink plenty of water. Yes, thank you very much. We are coming to that. Precious, again, Precious is my beautiful younger sister. I'm so impressed that she, answered the call to attend this talk today. Precious says, there is a belief that when a woman starts her period early, then she will definitely experience menopause early. Please, how true is that? Ladies, can you just touch on that before we continue?
Queen Nokwe, precious indeed you are.
Yes, precious.
This does not always hold true. It may be or it may not be. These things, mostly, a lot of it depends on genetic factors. So it really does not normally go that when you start early, you end early. You can start early and end very late. Yeah. And that's why you've seen some women get children at 60.
Yes.
And yet they started having their children when they're teenagers. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's basically genetically
that
based.
Really says it very well. There is no rule. There is no rule in this thing. This is nature. And for nature, there are no rules, especially when it comes to the, this kingdom here.
I like that.
Kingdom. So Simulu says, at 74, 99% of such cases is at fertility centers, or like Queen Rhodah said, maybe the egg was frozen.
Yes.
30 years back while waiting for Mr. Right, who shows up at 74. That's wonderful. Better late than never. So we have King Herbert. King Herbert says, the three great queens are so informed, experienced. Yes, you can say that again. And yet they do not seem to have reached menopause. They look 40. How can one identify a lady during and after menopause? Oh, King Herbert, you are one smart guy. I love that. So, Queen Rhodah, you want to say something about that? Are there any signs, any marks exteriorly that you can say, hey, this woman is going through menopause,
External, of course, the skin dries out. That one you see it obviously on all of us. The skin dries out. The first wrinkles appear because the estrogen starts disappearing. So the wrinkles start coming. Obviously, that is one sign you see. Some nails get brittle and they start breaking. Those are obvious signs. Some of the hair starts falling or not being strong anymore. So, that's also an obvious sign. What else? What can you see? And putting on enormous amount of weight. Weight gain seems to be part of this menopause thing. I gained about 20 kilos before I started losing them. It was a lot. And that's when the blood pressures came and everything came because I just had too much weight on me. Because the hormones had gone down, So weight gain is also one of these issues.
All right. That is wonderful. And I think you've talked about, dry skin, wrinkles and then hair falling out and weight gain and stuff like that. But I think that the men of today will have a really rough time recognizing the woman going through menopause because there are ways of fighting against all these external signs, isn't it? We're going to get there pretty soon. So my queens, you've been amazing so far. I mean, bravo. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that we're doing this today. I'm so happy. Now, I just want to ask a very short question, and let's not go into too much details because we have to round up very soon. But I just want to ask, maybe generally, how can menopause, before we go to the coping strategies, how can menopause affect your life and relationships? What are some of the problems that may arise in maybe in your marriage, Rhoda, I would like you to just tackle in your life, in your marriage with parenting, and then Jacinta, maybe you can just tackle at your workplace. Just real briefly, real quickly. Queen Rhoda, please begin.
Yeah. Definitely in relationships, the libido goes down. The libido is no longer what it was when you were juicy, succulent, and really running to mate with your mate. That one develops, matures to another way of being together. And if the partner does not understand why you're not like a young heifer anymore, assuming that he's still a stallion himself, but the chances are he's not also a stallion. If you married your age mate, he cannot be a stallion also anymore. So the libido thing changes to another way of being together, you know, of enjoying intimacy, maybe not like a stallion or you know, and a heifer. So that has to be understood. And in case the other one has more energy than the one who is undergoing menopause, then the menopausing partner should explain to the stallion and say, hey, my friend, things are different here. Things have changed. That energy, first of all, I don't even have it for. So that is where another way of talking has to come in a relationship. Otherwise, it will go kaput. And the man is go looking for another wife, or I don't know, another girlfriend, or whatever.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Just to add.
Yes, go ahead, Cynthia.
Just to add on to that, it's true. The two affected really have to communicate. The man has to try and understand the wife. Yeah. And talking together and sharing together will help open up both of you to find ways of enriching that experience together. And then it all comes up and you start enjoying life together. You get onto like a different phase of life, a new phase of life. Yeah, that you start enjoying together. But once you are disconnected and the one partner does not understand the other one, then as Rhoda says, things go kaput. You just have to be together, and talk about it and find ways together.
Thank you so much. Communication. And I would say when we get to this stage, queens, there is no room for shyness. There is no room for shyness. You need to communicate with your king and tell him what is going on. It is natural. It is not your fault. There is nothing for you to be ashamed of. You need to just tell him, and then two of you talk and look for ways of navigating this stage together. Because when you signed, what did you say? For better or for worse, isn't it? In fertility or in menopause, we are together.
Yeah.
We rise and fall together.
Yeah.
All right, my dear queens. Queen Cynthia, do you want to talk a little bit about how this can affect also your workplace, your relationships with colleagues, maybe from your experience?
Yeah, in fact, I would say with my experience before, I told you that I did not know that menopause was, I was entering menopause. And I remember I used to be very snappy, both at home and at work. And I could get really, normally when I get annoyed, I keep quiet. And so I used to spend, I always wanted to be alone. And you don't know, that cuts off communication between you and your bosses, between you and your other colleagues. So it affects productivity at work. And if you're not careful, then you might even get sacked because you snap at everybody. You'll even snap at your boss. And you can even take your bags and go away because somebody has done something very small and you get annoyed. So equally at home and in the office, that mood swing, that anxiety, that depression, that snappiness, it will cost you. It can really cost you. And that's why you need to speak up. You need to find help. I remember, it's okay.
So are you saying that even in the work situation, you also need to confide in your boss, maybe, and in maybe the person you're working with directly? You also need to confide with them so that they also don't think that you've gone, crazy?
Yeah, you need to find some space that you can express yourself. You find space to be understood. Yeah, maybe not your boss, maybe somebody else, because you never know how anybody can take it.
Boss
But you
might
need to,
fuck you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way of, yeah. And I think I was very lucky because I had a good boss who always saying, in fact, she said, I know she's younger than I. So she used to say, I know she's older. You're like my mother. So she used to leave me alone. That's how you sail along. But sometimes they may not understand and they'll say, 50, 58, she should go and let's get a younger person.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, ladies, before we go to the coping mechanisms, I just want to ask you a small question because it's just bugging me right now. Does it pass? Like, do these symptoms pass? These mood swings, hot flushes, and things, do they pass? Do you come to a stage where you no longer experience it, or is it till death do us part? What is it?
They do pass.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
You're still waiting for it to pass.
Yeah.
How is it for you?
What I can say is that I have gone over the roughest patch and I'm just going downhill. So it's passing, like the hot flashes, like I had to look for my fan where I had kept it because I don't need it so much these days. But I remember I could not pick my handbag and leave my fan. Yeah. So the hot flashes.
Everywhere we go, and Queen Rhodah still has her own. But definitely,
yes.
That is hope for you, Queen Rhodah. I'm sure you're also heading downhill after all this.
I hope
this fan gives you oomph. It gives you class. It gives you dignity. So we need to be very proud and know how to live through that.
Yeah. So, ladies, before we go to the coping strategies, let me just read some of the comments that our lovely kings and queens have been dropping here. Queen Rebecca says, is there a medical test that can verify that one is in her menopause? So, Becky, something like a pregnancy test? Well, experts, please answer Rebecca's question.
Yes, there are tests. And like in my case, I had to undergo what you call the removal of ovaries. They were sick. My ovaries were sick and they had to be removed. So that means there were no estrogen anymore being produced. And in order for the doctor to know, now what kind of hormones should I give this woman? You know, because you cannot just take anything. They take a blood test and they can check the levels of your hormones, the progesterone, the estrogen. I don't know what the other one is called. We even have testosterone. I did not know. We have it. So, but they only do that if there is a medical reason behind it, not a normal natural menopause. So if there was no surgery before or anything, then there's no need actually to request for such a thing, unless you yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I think that Queen Becky, to answer your question in relation to what Queen Rhodah has already said, I think that you know, when you're going through that, you will know. You will not need a test to know that you're getting into menopause or perimenopause. Is that right? The period before menopause. All right, we have Queen Tatiana Bestie in the house. Hi, Tatiana. You're welcome. We're happy you're here. And she says, hi, Queens. Thanks for the great talk. Thanks, Tatiana, for keeping us company. We're happy to be here. And Queen Rebecca again says, so that means that if our mothers get to menopause early, most probably we will also start early. Queen Jacinta, what do you say about that? Is there a relationship? Is it kind of hereditary?
No, there's no relationship. There's no relationship.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That was quick and to the point.
Yeah, that is it. There's no relationship.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Queen Ayayanka Jumba, my special personal person, you're welcome. She says, I love this conversation. Awareness is key. Yes, sister. Awareness is key. And I'm sorry, there are so many comments, and I don't want to leave out anyone. I want to read all of them because they are all important. And Rebecca says, you are just awesome, our Melanin Queens. Yes, we are awesome. We are. And Queen Tatiana says, great talk. I'm learning a lot. Chemu Koros, Kenya. Did you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you did. Lily Sanya says, good vibes. Rebecca says, thanks, Miss Malaika. That's a vital information. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Lily again says, communicating is key as it leads to emotional intimacy. Yes, very, very important. I mean, even in our normal day-to-day life, even without menopause, we cannot do without communication, as I said.
Yes.
So what more of when we have issues like this, we must communicate. Rebecca says, thanks, Miss Jacinta. Communication is the key to it all. Semulu, Mimi says, the dryness sounds like a heavy impact on her woman's sexual life. Is it?
Of course.
You got it. You got it. And Rebecca says, I missed that part of fertility and menopause during my vows. Till fertility and menopause, we are in it together. Yes, maybe you can still add it now. It's not too late. Lily says, congrats, Queens, for this conversation. In workplaces, we are now talking openly about mental health, important for conversations around menopause to be brought in the open. Retirement age is now at 65. Yes, it is important. We cannot do without it.
Yes.
Yes.
And oh, Queen Felista, my one and only strongest queen, my cousin, you're so welcome. She says, thanks for the great initiative, Queens. I love the break of silence on this menopause topic. Yes, yes, my dear sister, we are all enjoying it. We are all happy. And I'm so grateful to my queens, Jacinta and Rhodah, and to Queen Amina, who started all of this, for bringing us to this place where we are today. Hi, Anne. You're welcome. Hi, Anne. Nice to have you. So, ladies, let us go to the coping strategies. Are there any coping strategies? Do you have any tips to give us today? So let us just begin with Queen Jacinta, and then Queen Malaika, you round up with the coping strategies. Over to you, Jacinta.
In my life and according to my experience, I realized that it's important. Let not our coping strategies start during menopause, but as women, we need to take care of our nutrition because that's the key coping strategy in this situation. And a woman needs to start taking care of her nutrition very early in life. Maybe, of course, during teenage and the younger years, you're carefree. But once a woman starts getting children, giving birth, you have to take your nutrition very seriously. You have to keep replenishing the minerals and vitamins that you are unleashing out of your body through pounds and kilograms of the babies that you bring into this world. We can't wait until menopause sets in and then we start running around looking for supplements. Supplementation needs to start very early, especially in replacing the calcium and generally the multiminerals, because a baby is not made out of one nutrient. The baby is made out of everything that you need to eat. Yeah, so women, we have to love ourselves and take what we do. The work we do is too serious to take it lightly. We have to take care of ourselves. And then when you take care of your nutrition and you maintain your nutritional status at an optimum level, by the time you get into menopause, you'll have a smoother ride. Yeah, because your body will not be fighting for nutrients and then it's fighting for these hormonal changes at the same time. Yeah, when the body starts fighting to balance the hormones, the nutrients should be there to help it do all this work. So we have to get onto supplementation sooner than later. Immediately we start getting babies. And when we get to menopause, when you are 50 and above, if you're not on any supplements, then you're not doing yourself justice as a woman. And it's good to get to the natural organic supplements that speak to the body. I always tell women that the food you eat, whatever you put into your system, speaks to you. And let it speak to you for the good. and not to bring your body down, your precious body that has done so much work until 50 years. We need to take care of it very well. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Queen Jacinta. Wonderful. We need to start taking care of our, of our bodies before we enter menopause. We cannot wait until we are standing at the door before we start running helter-skelter. Nutrition, very, very important. And then replenishing supplements. We keep on giving, each time a baby comes out of our body, that baby takes along so much. We need to replenish. So thank you very much. Natural organic supplements are the way to go. Thank you very much. So Queen Malaika, over to you. Any coping strategies for us? Any tips?
Just a short comment to what Cynthia said. In this part of the world where I am living, my women friends say for every child, you lose a tooth. So it's like the child takes so much minerals that every child costs you a tooth. Yes. So
it's true. Even this side, even in here in Kenya, in Africa, in our culture, that kind of saying is there.
Cost you a tooth.
And it's true. Yeah. In fact, after my third born, I lost my tooth.
Yeah.
It was so true. And that's how I got onto supplements straight away.
Yeah. Very, very important. I think I've been doing a pretty good job with my nutrition because with the first two kids, I did lose a tooth per kid, but from the third, fourth, and fifth, my teeth have been permanent. So I think I did a quite good job with my nutrition. And kudos, Laura.
Wow.
Yes.
Thanks for the tips. So, Queen Malaika, do you have anything else to add in this area of coping strategies? How has it been for you?
What has been helping me on my journey so far is exercising. Mostly walking, taking brisk walks. I try to do like 8,000 steps or 10,000 steps, but not every day. Sometimes I manage only 3 times in the week. And then the other days, I'm happy if I go around the block, And the days when I go just round the block, at home here, I always have a yoga mat here in the living room, where I lie down in the morning and do what you call pelvic exercises. Because, as you know, even in menopause, all our muscles start responding to gravity. They start hanging. So it means also the stargate and all that is associated there. They also begin drooping like this. So pelvic exercises are very, very important. Otherwise, you'll be losing a few drops when you laugh or you sneeze and all that. Very, very important. So don't take only care of your face and moisturize it, but also there by doing those pelvic exercises. And walking or whatever sport you like. Some jog, some go walking, some do whatever, dancing. I love dancing here also. I put on my favorite Congolese music and really sweat it out. And after that, take my shower and I feel a bit normal again, I don't need to go to a fitness studio and pay whatever to, I can do it on my own here. So I find that very important. And most of all, also, not only exercises and pelvic exercises, but self-love. Many of us who grew up or were raised in Africa, we always put all the members of the family in front of us. We do everything, first of all, for everyone else. And then I'm the last one. So this kind of self-love, beginning to lavish yourself, doing something good, even if you see that nice face cream, where you think, oh, but it's a bit expensive, go for it, because you're the one working for it anyway. And you've been giving all these kids and everybody in your home so much attention all these years. So self-love, really loving yourself and honoring the person whom you are, whom God made you to be, Yeah. And if we don't honor ourselves, it's like we don't honor even the maker who made you, Yes. So self-love, I find, is very important. And we have to relearn, because we were trained to do everything for others first, and then you as the last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Queen Rhodah. Thank you so much. Exercising, brisk walking, and all of these wonderful. I can I'm not yet in menopause, but you said something about each child going with a tooth. And I mentioned that my youngest three boys, they did not take any of my teeth with them. And when I look back, I realized that I started exercising during pregnancy with my third, and I continued with all the other ones. I remember the day I gave birth to him. I went for the ladies who had given birth the day before me, they went for root building, for gymnastics, and I carried my big tummy and I followed them. And when the trainer saw me, he was like, you're not going to give birth in this place. Go back. I said, no, don't worry. The baby's not coming now. I just want to, I'm bored in my room. And he said, anyway, I have the phone here. I will call the labor room if anything happens. I did sports with them for 1 hour. And when I went back to my room and I sat down on the chair, the boy told me, Mommy, it's time. I need to get out of here. So I've been exercising during pregnancy, after pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, and I think it really, really makes a difference. And what you say about self-love, my sister, we need to relearn. I am trying to learn that as well, and believe me, it's so tough. It's so tough because I just keep thinking, why should I waste all this on me?
Yes.
But it's not a waste because I cannot give what I don't have. So if I don't invest in me, in this kingdom here, then
Kingdom.
what am I going to give? So thank you very much for reminding us. So queens, all of you who are listening, take care of yourselves. We are not saying you should not take care of your kings and your babies, your princes and princesses. By all means do so, but please do not forget yourself in the process. And our wonderful kings who are listening, take care of your queens as well. Pamper them. And if you see that they're working too much and they're doing too little for themselves, tell them. You say, go for a day of shopping. I'm staying with the kids. You go out and do shopping and let me just be here and take care of the kids. Go and do something with your girlfriends or something. So let us really take care of ourselves. Ladies, we have passed our time. So let us round up really quickly. Now I want to ask you, is it all doomsday? When we talk about this menopause, it's like hot flashes, mood swings, putting on weight, everything is following gravity. Is that all there is about menopause? Is it such a sad phase of life? Queens, what do you say?
Now we remove all those negative things we've said about menopause. We remove, we throw. Okay. Actually, menopause is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. We don't get pregnant anymore with physical babies in our stomach, but we conceive now ideas, business ideas come in, new ways of doing things. Maybe even we start writing a book, maybe you even start doing what? It is another type of pregnancy, but this time now, it is not going to take you to the maternity ward, but it is bringing you the dream of your life, what you always wanted to do, where you had no time when you were raising that big family, all those kids and everything. Now you have finally time to do that. Whether you love gardening, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to open a bakery, special type of cakes or whatever it is the time when you have now this peace, because when you look back, you can see, oh, your kids they survived it anyway, after all, and everybody else in the family survived you after all. And I always say that when the energy concentration is no longer in the womb, that energy rises up to the heart and to the brain. And I call it heart-brain axis. there's an access. And that is actually an uplifting. Now we finish our job, we finish our roles, we've given birth to nations, and now that axis gets activated. And that is the beauty of being a queen in this menopause. And then you take good care of yourself. Make sure you don't look like this. You take care of yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm a queen. My crown is not falling down.
That is so beautiful.
Rhodah, this is so wonderful.
Rhodah.
This gives so much hope, isn't it? And you know, when you were talking about, you know, now is the time for us to kind of shine, to realize all those dreams that we had when we were raising babies. You know, I just started work 2 months ago, and believe me, I have been at home for 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years. During that time, I gave birth to 3 boys.
Yeah.
In addition to the 2 I already had. Yeah. And now I can sit back and I'm watching them grow.
Yes.
And now I have time to gradually get into doing those things that I have been dreaming about.
Yes.
You know, so yes, this is the time. Dear queens, don't be afraid of getting into menopause. Don't be afraid of this stage of life, because this is now your time. And like Queen Rhodah says, don't forget to take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself very well, starting now, don't wait until you're at the door of menopause.
Yes.
You're going to have a smooth ride, and then you're going to have that heart-head axis connection, and you'll give birth to more amazing things. Thank you so much. Queen Jacinta, let me just connect with you. We have lots of kings here in the house today, and I think I'm going to read some of the comments from them. Okay, Anne asked a question. I think this one is to you, Queen Jacinta. What supplements should women be looking at? What are the, you know, I know there are many of them, but what are the core supplements, the very important ones that we should be watching out for?
Yes, so one of the key supplements a woman must take is calcium, and get the natural one, the organic one, and let it always be combined with magnesium and phosphorus if possible, because calcium does not work on its own. And if possible, get the multimineral, natural. Then it is proper that a woman, as Rhodah was saying, when our skin is getting dry, when our skin is losing collagen and getting loose and responding to gravity at a faster rate that we would like, then we need, we would like, it is proper that we get vitamin C. But then it's not good to take one supplement at a time. To begin with, it's good to take multivitamin and multimineral, organic ones, natural ones. Then for menopause, it's also good to take, there's some herbal preparations that are good, that help to balance the hormones. You need to look out, there's some companies that prepare these supplements very well, natural herbal preparations very well. Check their research, how the supplements have been researched and how they have been combined. They should be able to give you that information. You should be able to ascertain that they have been researched, that they are organic, because organic supplements are like food that speak to your body correctly. But when we take the chemical ones, they also leave a lot of deposits in our bodies that have to deal with. When your body is already struggling with an imbalance in hormones, don't give it more things to struggle with.
Yes.
Go natural, go organic. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you also need supplements that will replenish, give you amino acids, proteins that will build your muscles and strengthen the muscles. Yeah, and the supplements that actually, you know, the nutrients in your body work together like an orchestra. When you miss one, then the music does not come out so well. So we have to aim always to give our bodies all the supplements that it requires to sing a good song and take us to our menopause singing.
Wow. Yeah. That orchestra It's definitely, the concert is definitely worth visiting. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope, dear
Yeah.
listeners, dear viewers, I hope you're taking down notes, because these things are so valuable. They are life experiences. We are listening to experts by experience. Yeah, so it's not just reading an article somewhere, but you're listening to people who have experienced it, who are going through it, and they know what they're talking about. So a
I
comment
just
from King Herbert. He says, sure, Queen Rhoda, self-love is key. And in fact, they say that one cannot give what they don't have. Yes, absolutely true. Queen Lily says, very insightful conversation. Have a great week. Thank you so much, my dear. Catherine, you're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to see you. Catherine says, wow, thank you so much, Queens, for sharing your experiences with us. Was very educative. Yes, don't go yet. Don't it wasn't. It is still being very educative. We still have about 10 minutes to round up, ladies. So stay here, please. And Darling Girl says, love you all. Such a real presentation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see, I missed one. Tatiana says, aha, exercise, nutrition, self-love. Queens, thanks for the bold talk. God bless you. Chemo Koros. Rebecca, thanks, my queens, for the great session. God bless you all. Then, yeah, Anna just gives us the list of the things, the supplements that we need. She wrote it all down. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. Then Flora Reggie is asking, are there some foods that can help us? Queen
yes,
Rhoda, what do you say? Are there some foods that
yes,
can
Miss
help?
Rhoda.
You, Cinta?
No, I said Queen Rhoda.
Rhoda,
You
Rhoda,
can
Rhoda.
take that.
I discovered, honestly, yams. Because there is a scientific research that shows that Ghanaian women hardly have anything to do with menopause. And the reason is because they eat plenty of yam for breakfast, yam, cocoa, yam in everything. So I started going to the Afro shops looking for yam myself. And there's even a cream, a gel made of yam, which is of plant estrogen, which is made from yam. So I'm beginning to introduce also yam. I did not know how to cook that, honestly. It was foreign to me, so I had to learn. And but otherwise, lots of vegetables and cruciferous vegetables, all this cabbage and kale and all that, cruciferous vegetables and legumes, beans and all that. Those are actually foods that should be eaten more, and less of the red meat and less of that. If you can afford some fish, some chicken, but more vegetables.
Salmon, chicken.
And particularly those African vegetables, if we can find them, oh, they are so great. All those traditional vegetables, they are the best. The only problem that we in the Western world here, we don't get it much. It's like when you see it somewhere, we are all running for it. So those traditional vegetables are the best.
Sukuma wiki.
Yes, sukuma wiki.
I just want to, yes, I would just like to add that let's go natural even in our food. Let's try to limit refined foods.
Yes.
Because our bodies respond to what is in nature. The same way, like I remember Rhoda saying that when you're feeling depressed, go into the forest and sing to the trees, talk to the trees. But when you're eating food that comes from plants, the yams, the sweet potatoes, you're actually getting them into your system to talk to you, to talk to your genotype. So plant foods are the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Queen Jacinta. Thank you, Queen Rhoda. Thank you, Florence, for this wonderful question. I'm going to get some yams as well next time I go to the Afro shop. Now, let us round up with the last and very important question. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a full show on this question, but let me just ask you, ladies. We have some queens, some kings in the house today who have been commenting. I hope there are many more who have not commented, and those who will be watching later. What should the kings know about menopause? and how can they assist their queens during this phase? Queen Malaika, you can begin, and Queen Jacinta, you can round up.
They can assist us honestly just by understanding us, understanding that we are not always angels. The day I'm not an angel to you, there's a reason, yeah? And don't take it so personal, there's a reason. So try to find out what is eating her today. Just through talking and communication is of a big help. And in this part of the world where we live in, where we don't have housemaids and house help and all that, of course, it is of a great help if our men also assist in the house chores, particularly after working the whole day, and then you come home, you have to start all the chores again. It would be of great help without us telling our men, please, can you do the dishes? Please, can you cook? Please. In this part of the world where we have no house helps and we live alone as a nuclear family. Yeah. For the rest of the world where there is help, of course, still our men would be of great help to us just if they talk with us and give us an ear, you know, and not just think, oh, this woman is, today she's in her mood, you know, what is wrong with you? And just leave the house again and hope, saying, when I come back, I hope you're in a better mood. Which better mood? Talk with me, find out how.
And be patient.
Queen, thank you so much, Queen Rhodah. Queen Jacinta, do you have something to add?
I was going to say,
about menopause?
To be patient with us, especially during that time, we need a lot of understanding.
Yeah.
We need a lot of patience. We need sometimes we may need space. And that time also, sometimes a woman may want to have her space, but at the same time, she just wants her king to be there. Maybe just, I may have screamed at you just because I was, but it's good. I also would not like you to go out of the house. I may scream at you, but I would like you to be there.
Yes.
So it would be good for them to try and understand, be understanding at that time, be patient, and be with us. Be more loving, because it builds towards a closer, better intimacy during menopause.
Wow.
Maybe even the king can ask after I scream at him, maybe after some time, do you need a cup of tea? You know?
Yes. And that breaks everything automatically. And so it breaks things.
Do you need your fan?
Yes, exactly. May I get you your fan and go and get the fan and bring it? Yes. Such things. Yeah.
Wow. Kings. Understanding, a bit of patience, emotional support. There is nothing above emotional support. Even if you cannot help to do the dishes or the laundry or even with the house chores, just that emotional support. My queen, I feel you. We are in this together. We're going to cross this bridge together. It means the world to her. It will mean the world to her. And sometimes, like Queen Jacinta says, we just need space, but at the same time, we need you around. So don't go out of the house and hope that I'll be in a better mood when you come back. Wow, this has been an amazing talk. Sincerely, we've gone above by 23 minutes, but there was no way I was going to break this talk because it just had to flow to the end. And thank you so much, my queens, for initiating this, for leaving everything this evening to come and share your hearts, your souls with us, with the world. Thank you, our viewers, for coming, for making it so interactive, so interesting, for your comments, for your questions, for your encouragement. We really, really appreciate it. This is going to be available from tomorrow, I think. It will be available on my YouTube page, so you can keep sharing the link. The link you use to join this live show, just share it because that's what the video is going to be. Keep sharing it so that even those who could not join us live can watch later on at their convenience and benefit from all these wonderful tips and information that we have had today. So, my queens, And if you still have something to say, you can still write in the chat box, in the comment box. And so, my queens, do you have any closing remarks? Just in a nutshell, just round it up before Queen Rhodah prays for us and we leave today. So, Queen Jacinta, maybe you can begin, and then Queen Malaika will conclude with a comment and then the prayer.
So, lovely queens, I just want to tell you that menopause is the most beautiful stage of a woman's life when you take it positively. It's a stage that that is when you see, like, you start experiencing your fullness as a woman. You start experiencing the fullness of who you are and what you can do. You get into, I want to say what Rhodah said, you're getting into the creative word, not the word to give birth to children. It's a time that you can do a lot, a time that you can, that you have a lot to give to society, by the way. Maybe during your earlier life, you've been giving a lot to your family, but that's the time now you are open and ready to give a lot to society. So please, let's set ourselves ready to fulfill ourselves and to put ourselves out there in society, to be seen, to be heard, and to appreciate ourselves as we move on into a more beautiful stage of our life. Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you so much, Queen Jacinta. It's a beautiful space. We are getting into the creative space. Don't be afraid of it. Welcome it with all your heart, and you will make the best of it. Thank you so much. Over to you, Queen Rhodah.
Okay.
Yes, I only want to comment and say that it is a beautiful face, like Queen Jacinta said, and there's no running away from it. It is inevitable. The same way you went through puberty, menopause will come. So there's no way you can escape it unless, of course, you die before, and we don't want that. So it is inevitable. And we should honor every year that is added to us. Every year that is slipping through our fingers, it is an honor. It is, we should be thankful for every single year. My last comment is, ladies, nevertheless, if you hit rock bottom, like the way I did in some phase of my life in menopause, do not hesitate to seek help from your gynecologist, from your doctor. Don't suffer alone. Seek help. And if the doctor does not listen to your problems, look for another one. You're too worthy to sit there with some tweet who does not want to listen to your feelings or taking your feelings serious. So seek help if you are hitting rock bottom. If your doctor is not agreeing with you, look for another one. There's so many wonderful doctors also out there who understand us. Yes.
Awesome, Queen Malaika. Before we go to the closing prayer, I just want to say thank you again. And I thank you for bringing up also, for reminding us that we can seek help and we can seek professional help. Don't sit there and die alone. Talk, communicate, get the help that you need. Don't be shy about it, and get excited about it, because yes, it could be bumpy for some people. It could be bumpy even for you, but when you have a positive mindset, the Bible says that all things work together for good for them that love God and are called according to his purpose. So everything begins in the mind. You can see a glass, there is water, half of the cup, and to some people, they could say that the glass is half empty, because they're looking at it from the negative side. And another person will say the glass is half full. And in Rhodah, that was just the sign for her to drink something. So always see the glass as half full, because in that life, it can only get fuller and fuller. But when you see it as half empty, then it gets drier and drier. This has been a real amazing talk. And just the rounding comments also from Simozo Mirabel says, thank you so much, Queens. Very educative. Lily claps for all of us, and Mimi again says, God bless you for openly sharing your experiences. Queen Rhodah, please just lead us in a short prayer, and then we can call it a day.
Yes. I wish to thank the Most High, the Creator, our Maker, the Maker of all that there is, for this wonderful day we've had together. I thank all the elements that are sustaining us, the elements, the sun, the moon, the earth, the water, the air. I thank you for sustaining us and giving us the livelihood that we are enjoying every day. I wish to honor and thank our ancestors who birthed us and have gone before us. I thank you and honor you. And I thank the living, us who are among the living, and I thank you and honor you. Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
So it is. So
Amen.
it is.
So the live show is closed. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time. I had a blast. I'm so excited. I'm like, what took me so long? But God's time is the best. Thank you, my queens. Thank you for the kings in the house. Thank you for you, all my lovely sisters, for making this day so memorable. I wish you all a great start in the new week. Continue to share the link. Come back and watch this video again. Take down notes and pinch another sister to talk about menopause. Pinch another sister to listen to this talk. Let us break the silence. Let us say it together, queens. Let us break the silence. Yes, let us break the silence. Thank you. Thank you, King Herbert. King Herbert says it was wonderful to be here listening to our queens. You are a great king. Mwah to you and to all our other kings. Simolu, King Laura, please, we need a whole show on the female body, especially pelvic and the force of gravity. Yes, we do. I support.
Yes.
We will have that show and a lot more shows. And for the kings, we will also have a show on midlife crisis.
Yes.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. God bless you, ladies. I love you. Thank you so much, my queens.
We love you.
Bye. Pretty in yellow, isn't it? The yellow team. Yeah. Bye.
That was lovely.
Bye. We sieve it all out. We find it out. We sieve it out. Bye.
Exactly.